Alright, I want to try something here. I'm going to see if I can add... I think I found a way to add somebody's name without title T-ing it. Alright, stream. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it works! It totally worked! Alright, well, welcome back to the Dreamhack Rocket Legacy of the Void Championship Qualifiers, aka Dreamhack Winter. Spawning here on the leftmost side of Bridgehead. It's going to be Team Liquid's red Terran player, Liquid Bunny.
On the right side, as the blue Zerg, it's SortOf.
He, of course, added his name to the overlay here to make it a little bit easier. So, Mr. Boris Macroft says Rifkin showed us his legs on stream once, and I've been scared since, or scarred since. Look, man, I've got some sexy thighs. Is all I just wanted to share with the world. Okay, it's the greatest opportunity to do so. The other people around my town who appreciate my legs are the cows of the field grazing. So walk on by. Actually, I was seeing some pictures the other day too of the highway near where I walk, and I just, between people not believing I'm half Japanese and people not believing I live in the middle of nowhere, I just feel like everyone just assumes I lie about every detail of my life. It's like, until I show picture proof, no one's happy.
That's true.
Although I will give it to Suede when I tweeted the picture of my grandparents and me. He's just like, stop harassing random people, Rifkin.
That's kind of funny. See, I don't know. I know that people don't look Asian sometimes. Like, like, this is like a mystery to everyone else. They've been like, no, every single half Asian I've ever... Oh, yeah, I did goof. Every single half Asian I've ever seen looked Asian. You're lying. Like,
Alright, so a cool little trick over here. I would like to think I'm the one who figured this out. It's safe to say that we figured this out playing Archon mode before we saw any other pro do it. So in that regard, it feels really cool. But yeah, it's a cool way that you can get in and out of the base if there's a wall up at the front, if there's a lot of queens over there. And on Bridgehead, I don't know that you need to really sneak in like that. He didn't scout the front at all, but he will get out of the base alive.
yeah, just barely. Oh. Well, Roach Warren goes down yet again, right after Bunny gets the scout.
Oh.
Lyrics have it down to a science, man.
This guy in chat has a really good theory, by the way, about what we were talking about before you got in the game, where maybe it's just zombie grub pretending to be a bunch of mobs trolling you, Rifkin. Have you been really that upset about our language? You can just tell me.
Why would I ever care?
You just couldn't tell me to my face, zombie grub. You had to lie with me,
no,
a
man,
mom.
if I was gonna troll you, it wouldn't be about the language.
Actually, yeah, there are like literally 100 things zombie grub could just troll me about that would have way bigger impact on me than language. Alright, well, so some Hellions coming out of the field. I mean, Bunny, again, just kind of going back on this point of stressing that he played well. He played a very... I hesitate to call it cookie cutter, because nothing's really cookie cutter yet, but still, he played a more standard build, a safe build. The Liberator option that he's going for once again is nothing too insane.
I would say he only has one build in TvZ because that's all he's been able to practice, but honestly, I mean... for a time in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, you could literally only have one build in TvZ, and you could still be a really good player. Like the 3cc and the T-Rax. Look at you far, buddy. So Bunny might just really like this build.
Ooh, did not realize that's not a full wall. Apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's getting pulled into this. That's rather unfortunate. He's got a lot of Lings to deal with. This Hellion's going to try and come up with the wall off. They'll let the Lings in, will not let the Hellions in. Awkward!
This is quite annoying to deal with. Didn't need no Overload for that. But while it's annoying to deal with, he is still getting all of his, you know, his macro behind this. He's building all the protection he needs to. This is annoying to pull the SCVs into it. And he's getting his Liberator push all ready to go.
So when we saw this happen with Solo earlier, one of the biggest sad things, well, we're seeing this happen now again, is you can still deny a good chunk of the mineral lines even if you put the Spore Crawlers back there. A lot of this is going to come down to getting the Ravagers in position. Even just one Ravager firing 3 times or 3 Ravagers firing at once. The point is, they're the best way to deal with this. And here we go, 3 Ravagers are going to try and get in here.
Yeah. 1 will die. And 2 will die. Ooh.
Ooh, Helling's on hold position up here, gonna deny some mining. Yo, this is really interesting because Legacy of the Void is a lot less about destroying the mineral lines as much as it's just denying mining now. And I kind of like that aspect of the game a lot more, because when you see 40 drones die, sure, it's exciting for a second, but honestly, those are really lame victories. But while this might not be a lot better, I like the idea of just denying mining rather than having to devastate a drone line. Having? Did I say hafting? Where did the T come from?
I don't know. The title T.
Shut up! I fixed it. I didn't have to do it, okay? Title T hype? I'm seriously gonna make that an emote, I think. And I'll keep doing it wrong even though I found out how to do it right. Banley Nest coming up next out of SortOf, so he's not gonna be going Roach, Ravager, Corruptor. Which is a shame, I feel, because I think it's just such a strong strategy right now.
It is. And I think just going for regular Ling upgrades, like not even like a quick Spire or just throwing in a Roach push, I think that's a pretty... I mean, I want to say lame, but maybe that's a little too harsh, but it is. It's like, it's very standard. There's not much aggression. He's nothing but have to defend against very annoying little pokes from Bunny, where he has a lot of options to be aggressive. Zerg definitely does have a lot of options to throw in a curveball, so he just, I feel like it's kind of like, well, this is on you, sort of. It's your fault.
Alright, well, some lane's gonna keep running by. I'm not sure what's going on with Bunny that this keeps happening. I mean, like, you know, slips by the reactor, the Marines are just a little bit out of position. He has not lost a ton of workers this game, but still, unnecessary worker losses nonetheless. Tank's still dipping around over here. We constantly refer to this as an Archon mode strategy, and I'm just gonna echo that here. Bunny is dedicating a lot to this. I don't think his macro's slipping. He's actually spending his money quite well, but it's a strategy that does have a bit of a clock on it where, I mean, killing an extractor, hype.
I think the worst thing about this strategy is that it usually comes at a time where you are getting a 3rd CC, 5 more barracks, your starport ready to go, all your add-ons, all your upgrades. Like, the fact that this is later and allowed to be later because sort of got a Spire later means that all Bunny really is doing is hitting his cycles and building, like, an armory. Not that big of a deal, right? Like, I think he actually has more micro capability at this time.
You know, one of the things that was kind of cool, if he wasn't clicking on the insta-tail already, from the tank shots alone, he should have been able to infer that there is +1 armor for Zerg.
I see nothing but Zerglings. He probably figures that mutas are on the way sometime, and he's probably kind of like wondering why the Spire isn't already done. I mean, I guess there's still some Roaches and Ravagers, but they're mostly Zerglings. There's the mutas.
Gotta give it to the tanks though. They had about 15 kills each on them before going down. I will say, nothing feels better though when you are doing Archon mode with somebody and you get that tank drop to do so much damage. My high score is like 45, I think. Like, you can get a lot done given the right circumstances.
Yeah, basically if they don't know how to use Ravagers and
I would I would love to see somebody like Bunny get teamed up with a really skilled Archon partner and just go ham on those tanks.
Didn't we see him do an Archon mode match?
I believe it's him to Muslim early on for Rocket Beans.
Yeah.
But that was in the days of Hellion Cyclone still being really strong. So I don't remember if we saw too much of the tank drops or not.
Once or twice, pretty sure. But this is a very fearsome push. Does need to spread though and focus fire the tanks of the banelings.
Yeah, I like that flank from behind.
He didn't even stim. He didn't have stim. Oh.
Well.
Oh, that was a terrible push.
Bunny. This times that really badly. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. Bunny has fallen apart in like 3 different aspects of this game, and like finally the big one hits, and it's a really big one.
I did not realize how late his stim was. Maybe he
I
didn't
assumed
either.
it was done. Yeah, like he might have just been under the assumption like timing was going to be perfect for that, and because he had stalled out in the middle of the map, he had that extra 10 seconds he needed. But that's not actually the case, and now stim's done. But ouch, that was a force that I think if he had stim could have been game ending. but got caught by the Banelings. SortOf certainly happy about that engagement. And let's not forget, SortOf did send DeMuslim packing to the losers bracket. And DeMuslim, I don't know how much he's been playing, but he was one of the early adopters to Legacy of the Void. He caught on very quickly to things like Hellions. I mean, to the point where he was just like, okay, these units are so dirty, I don't deserve to win. And he went Zerg in Game 5 and threw the match series just because of how good Cyclones and Hellions were. It's dumb, it's silly, but again, if SortOf was able to beat DeMuslim, I certainly think he's got what it's take to take Bunny down.
Oh, Bunny just took a terrible fight, yet still is in such a bad shape, so certainly if Bunny loses this game, he will be blaming that little fight. He's supposed to get like combat shields before Stim. That's weird. Anyways, his upgrades were rather good. They were at 2-2. On the way to at least 3 weapons. And they're on 2-1 actually. What?
Nothing. I was fixing XSplit and I saw your stupid cat walk across your monitor.
Yeah, he stepped all over the keyboard.
Alright, Planetary Fortress is going to hold strong here to the bottom, so it doesn't really have to worry about too much down there. Liberators, I mean, they will get taken up by the Corruptors. Exposed like this, big mistake out of Bunny. Even the Muta's getting on top of the action.
SortOf, by pushing that one attack back for so long, does have a lot of time now to get to that Ultras Cavern. His own upgrades. Get good support units for the Ultras too. This is the point where we're going to really have to see and test our Ultras too good, basically. Like, does Bunny even have a response to when Ultras are out?
I mean, I want to start harping on how he doesn't have enough Marauders, but to be honest, Marauders aren't that great versus Ultras anymore. They're much better than Marines, of course, but they're not good.
He does realize maybe it's around that time, so he's upping his Marauder count bit by bit. But, you know, his upgrades, they're going to be actually on par, because his plus, his shield, his armor upgrades are a little bit late. Has no timing to really abuse here. His Conti is bleeding out these Liberators. Doesn't really have any other drops, doing a lot of damage. Took feelings to the face right there. There's still a big army left over. Bunny can't quite move in like this.
Oh, the clumping. Oh, the clumping. He was hoping the tanks would take most of these out, and he does keep a good chunk of the Marines alive. Credit where it's due, but 4 Ultralisks are on the way, Zombie Grub, and Kenny's plating, while not done, is still gonna... I just think the damage alone will be enough. Baneling takes out the Marines. Tanks starting to fall.
They didn't even need the Ultras. He had enough leftover Baneling and Lings because Bunny just... He got over-eager, he thought he took out all the Banelings, but that's always a terrible mistake to make, running on a creep like that.
Blinding Cloud's really nice. Completely nullifying the tanks.
Yeah. It's, and this game's gonna end because Ultras are good. But it's not because of the Ultras, actually.
It's actually, you're right. Like, it looks stupid now, but it's the Banelings that killed him.
Yeah, it was a bad game, bad mid-game for Bunny, and then just a bad fight in the late game. So
Ultras have 7 armor without level 3 upgrades. Just throwing that out there.
Good. Pretty good. It's interesting that Bunny was trying to go for Ghosts, though. To EMP the Vipers, I suppose? The problem is the Vipers are a good addition, but they're not... That wasn't the problem. It was Ultras and Lings.
Maybe some 6 snipes, because that new snipe ability is so great, right?
Bro? Right?
Again, SortOf is going to take the first match in his best of 3 semifinals. I think that kind of went as I would have expected. To be honest, Bunny, well, actually, I take that back entirely, because I was going to start talking about tactics with Legacy, but Bunny just, let's be honest, those were HOTS mess-ups, too. Mistiming his stim, walking exposed like that, clumping up on a bridge.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good general game. Just because of one setback, one little mistake where your momentum was entirely lost, and your supply is decent, but you keep on just making the those engagement mistakes. It's odd to see from Bunny, but I guess he was caught up with Liberators or something.
Yeah.
This timed everything else.
Let's see. Here's Terraform coming up next.